Yeah.
I'm a go-getter. If I say it and I put my mind to it, it's happening. It's done.
Yeah.
I've learned from that and being like, hey, embrace the pivot.
Yeah.
Change your mind. You don't have to suffer.
Be okay with it.
Yeah. You don't have to choose suffering anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
But sometimes when we grow up and that's all we know is suffering,
we repeat it.
So, but exactly like what you said, like the body remembers.
Yeah.
So your body goes back to these habits of how it was taught.
That was the part that was going to help me become.
Yeah.
You know, that was the part that was going to, like, in any journey, that was going to make me rise, or it was going to break me.
And it's a choice.
Yeah.
It's a decision. It's like turn right or turn left.
Yep.
And it's your choice to make. Like, is this going to break me or is this going to make me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was determined, and I knew as an early child I would lie in bed and think, this is not it.
Welcome back to the Mapuana Reet Show. Today we have my friend Reet with us, and she is going to take us on a journey from being in India, growing up in Canada, and making her way all the way to Hawaii. And she's taking us on a journey about the culture that she grew up with and the culture that she was born into. So I'm so excited for this interview. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you, Mapu. I'm so excited to be here. It feels like a full circle moment for me.
Right?
My friend said that too. It's like, she's like, yeah, you kind of like, Mapu just kind of inspired you to just pull the trigger on your podcast.
Right,
and now
exactly.
to be sitting here on yours, it's like,
when did you decide to do was it after my event, her next chapter, or?
I had already recorded about 3 or 4 episodes, but I was just kind of like, that's sitting in the in-between.
Yeah. Like, should I do this? Should I not?
My nerves, I'm second guessing. I'm like backpedaling.
It's like you're on that fine line of like, do I jump in or do I stay? Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, it's so early. Even if those 2, 3, or 4 episodes I've recorded, not a big deal. Nobody knows about it.
Yeah.
But when I announced it at your event, it was my coming home. It was like stepping into my next chapter, and then it was like, oh crap, I have to do this now. I've claimed it.
Okay, so take me on your journey. Every podcast episode, I start off with her job. So JOB is Journey on Becoming. So take me on your journey on becoming who you had to become today.
Oh, that's a good one. I love the JOB.
Yeah.
I had to become this woman today. She had to shed a lot. So I'm born in India. Parents were arranged marriage, but it's not something my dad was really on board with. So I had an older brother who's passed away, and then I was born. Shortly after I was born, my dad left India and left us to pursue a better life in Canada. And 8 years almost went by, and I'd never met him. He had never come back. He essentially had started a whole new life in Canada, remarried, had another son, and shortly about my 8th birthday, he came to India, and he said to my mom, okay, I'm going to take the kids, and I'll bring you later. Nobody in India knew that he had gotten remarried. He had another family.
Wow.
So it was like...
So he took you from India to Canada?
Yeah.
And that's where you then discovered that he had this whole other family?
Yep.
And
as soon as we walked to the house, he's like, so you can call her auntie or you can call her mom.
And you're 8 years old and you're like, what the fuck?
Yep. I'd never been to Canada. I'd never been out of India. I'd never seen anything like a country like that.
But growing up, you thought like mom and dad are together, dad's just away?
Yeah. I'd never met him.
Oh,
he left when I was 6 months old. I had never met him, but I knew I had a dad because my mom would get us to write letters, kind of force us.
Okay,
and we'd heard about him, but it was never something missing for me because we lived kind of like Hawaiian culture. We lived in a mixed family. Like we lived with my aunts and uncle.
Generations.
Yeah. And my we call her Nani was my grandma, and we just never felt anything was missing because we had cousins that were older and we were little, so we got spoiled on. My mom would she lived with my uncle to kind of help for room and board. Like she would take care and cook and clean, and we lived with them, and my dad would send a little bit of money, and we would go to she was able to afford to send us to a private school to give us the education. So then one day he drops in. It's shortly before my 8th birthday, and he's like, "Hey, gonna take the kids, and like I want to let you know that my stepmom did not know of us either."
What?
So the bomb was like nobody in India knew that he had a life, and my stepmom in Canada, who had a newborn who was just a few months old, also didn't know he had
Okay, wait.
married.
So you guys walk into like surprise, who's this, and then who's this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had told her like a month before he went to India. So she had a month to process with a newborn in
Wow.
her hand. Like, oh, I'm getting 2 more kids.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was like kind of like the beginning of the discomfort.
Okay.
You know, like I had a cushiony childhood, a mom that loved us. In India, we didn't know any different. So I knew the foundation. It was already built. So my mom had built a sense of, I knew what love felt like. I knew what community, family,
Yeah.
and I was a solid girl.
Yeah.
I just look back at pictures because I had kind of blocked a lot of that out after I left India, but now kind of recent years got pictures that I'm like, I'd never seen. I'm like, no, this girl knew who she was.
Yeah.
This girl here, she knew she was going to make a difference. But the journey that after that, my dad was very, I call it, he was a lost soul.
Yeah.
And I think he was disconnected from himself because to do all the things he was doing, it was chasing. He was chasing outside of himself success. The Canadian and American dream, so they call it, right? When you're coming from a third world country, that's a dream.
Yeah.
And he made it himself, and he worked as a taxi driver, he worked at KFC as a manager, limo driver, and all the way in Canada he was in India he was a pharmacist.
Wow.
He'd studied to be a pharmacist. He had to start from scratch in Canada.
Wow.
But there was a lot of like pain in him. He was, once he got us, my brother and I, he wasn't the nicest to us, right? He was just so much pain caused him to abuse us, like physically and just really me especially because I was a girl. In that culture, it's like, oh, I'm kind of an expense. I'm an expense because I'm going to cost him money. They pay dowry for girls to get married. So that's why from the birth they want a boy because that's going to get them money.
Wow.
I'm going to cost them money.
Yeah.
And so I didn't even know of that until like nobody talked about that. Like that was not a thing. It wasn't a priority to my mom. She loved her 2 children unlimited. Like we were her whole world.
Yeah.
And for her to have lost us, I can't imagine. Like I know now to a small degree, but I couldn't even imagine what she went through. She shared some of her experience for those.
Wow.
So during that time, he was busy building a business. He created an insurance company. He was climbing that ladder of entrepreneurship, the pressure of it, all of that really added to when he came home at night, he had nothing left. He just really sharp anger, burnt out, and we just needed to be out of his way. And at an early age, we started running away.
Wow. Did you grow up in Canada? Is that where you ended up
Yeah.
growing? So you stayed with him from 8 to 18? Or?
8 to 15. He passed away when I was 15.
Okay.
So he passed away when I was 15. I shared this on my episode, but he had been diagnosed with HIV. I didn't know.
Oh, wow.
In 1995, he died.
Okay.
And I actually found out after he had died because they had told us he had cancer because they
Okay.
didn't want us. In 1990s, you couldn't walk around and talk about that.
Yeah.
It just wasn't something people wouldn't even, like, it would be even more traumatic.
Wow.
Yeah. So he had passed away at 15. In that time, from 8 to 15, there's been so much stress, trauma, abuse, and just also my stepmom kind of resorted to going into religion. She went into church. So we were converted to Baptists, and we went through this hardcore, rigorous, like 3-4 days a week we would be in church. We were not supposed to be really part of the outside world because they were sinners.
Wow.
So it was
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was definitely, that was the part that was going to help me become.
Yeah.
You know, that was the part that was going to, like, in any journey, that was going to make me rise, or it was going to break me. And I knew.
And it's a choice.
Yeah.
It's a decision. It's like turn right or turn left.
Yep.
And it's your choice to make. Like, is this going to break me or is this going to make me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was determined, and I knew as an early child I would lie in bed and think, this is not it.
Wow.
I don't, like, I believe in, like, we all have our psychic abilities,
Yeah.
our intuitive, and I ran away from that for a while, but when I tapped in, I remember now as a child knowing things and being like, yeah, this is gonna be painful for a while, but you're gonna come out, and the dream that you have, you will accomplish.
Yeah.
The purpose and the mission you came on this earth to do, you will. Nothing will stop you. And my dad would tell me, you're never gonna be anything. You're so dumb. I never wanted you. Like, you're not, like,
That is so sad.
Programming
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So that was what I had to overcome.
How did you think that because your mindset is so strong, is that from the upbringing of your mom, from that early age?
I think those seeds
It was
were
already planted.
And they
Yeah.
say children, the first 7-8 years
Yeah.
of their life is kind of sets the tone for the rest
Yeah.
of their life.
Yeah. So by the time you went with him, it was already it was already a seed that has been planted that is starting to grow, and you're
Yeah.
like, no, there's no way you can sway me to think otherwise. Like, I know my worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other side of that coin is I did go through self-doubt.
Yeah.
I did, after he passed away, I ran away, and another family from the church who had left the church took me in. They helped me as about 17 years of age. They took me in. They kind of guided me, gave me that love and affection to nurture myself. And I went on another journey to kind of, who's Reet? What does that even mean anymore? After religion, after abuse, after being taken away from my culture. So once my dad came to Canada, my stepmom was Guyanese, so West Indian. The roots are similar to India, but there's quite a big difference. It's like Caribbean, right? It's very different. And so she didn't know my culture or speak my language.
And your
And-
stepmom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was raised with what she taught me, and that was kind of a gift. She gave me another side of fun, like West Indian, Caribbean side. Like, they're fun. They know how to have a good time, and she had just this kindness that she showed me.
Yeah.
So that also planted seeds of being like, hey, when you can, you pay it forward.
Yeah.
Humanity is like, we're here to help others wherever you can. So that kind of really added to that foundation I already had. And this is why I sit here today, and I know we attract the people and the women in our life, or the people in our life, by our energy.
Yeah.
And I have done a timeline, I call it, of all the different integral parts in my life. And I call we live in 7-year cycles. And, like, if I look back, every 7 years, there was something massive. I was taken away at 7. Almost just as I turned 15, father died, I started a new cycle. And, like,
Wow. So there's always a shift. It's like a next chapter or a new book is
Yeah.
just about to.
yeah, they say our
Wow.
bodies also do on a 7-year cycle. Like, it's
Interesting.
reshedding, and it's almost like our cells and everything is recreated. And so I had so many next chapters.
Yeah.
And in my 20s, I just, like our 20s, I partied, I kind of lost myself in the fun, and also trying to climb up the corporate ladder.
Yeah.
I went to school, I put myself through school, college, and I wasn't feeling it. It wasn't for me.
Were you doing it because that's what you thought was like the American dream? And all
Absolutely.
of that? Yeah.
I actually asked, like, I called them my adopted parents. I was like, can I take a year off after high school? I don't know what I want to do. And they were just they knew, they're like, no, you have to go to school. You have to
Yeah.
go to school. And I was like, okay. I went, but I would kept changing my major every semester because I just wanted to party.
You're like, I'm just gonna be here for a while. Let me just keep changing.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I felt like finally I had a taste of freedom, free
Oh,
will.
yeah.
And I was old enough to be, now I'm an adult.
Yeah.
And part of that, I also like spent a lot of money on school that didn't finish, right? So I had to pay that back. So
Yeah.
there's always a cause and effect, and
Yeah.
the consequences were like I got myself in a bit of trouble with
Yeah.
financials and spending money that was like getting loans, and then I had to remember, oh, if you get a credit card, it's not your money.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
gotta pay it back.
Right. Yeah.
And
yeah.
in my
Because
20s,
they don't teach that in school.
no,
Yeah.
nothing to
But
do
once
with,
you hit college, it's like, get this credit card, get that credit card.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they're happy to give it to you.
Yeah.
So definitely, I spend that time partying, kind of losing my pain and my sorrow from losing my dad, not having my mom. My mom was brought to Canada by her siblings. I think I was probably a late teenager. I met her. I chose not to go live with her because they still took me as that 7-year-old.
Oh.
I think it was such a hard thing for people to understand. Like, why didn't you go live with your mom? Well, what happened was I knew in my heart you always have a choice. If I went there, my choices were going to be cut automatically on I would be arranged marriage. It was only going to be a matter of time. I had to do the Indian way, but I'm not identifying as Indian anymore.
Yeah.
Like I've been given this opportunity to live in a country that has shown me a lot of
Freedom.
different things and freedoms,
Yeah.
and I haven't been living an Indian life.
Mm-hmm.
I've been kind of disconnected from my culture, so I was like, no. I said, no, I don't want to live with you guys. I will come and visit. And my older brother had gone and lived with her. So it kind of put a rift in between us, all of us.
Did she feel like, why aren't you choosing me? Like, why aren't you choosing to come back?
She did feel like that, but I think she was happy to have my brother.
Okay.
So she didn't fight.
Yeah.
Of course she wanted, but she was just happy to have one of her kids
Yeah.
that wanted to be there, and she took that. And I mean, in high regard, they look at boys as like
Yeah. Yeah.
they are more important, apparently.
Yeah, yeah. How has that affected you today? So your childhood and your upbringing, how has that affected you as a mother now? And,
I constantly am aware of the cycles of how do I want to parent my daughter. And I do see myself some moments parenting in an old way that I have to recognize and rewire, repattern that.
Yeah.
And I apologize. I take accountability and responsibility for who I am, but also the actions that I cause for my husband and my daughter, because all of that still had a lot of pain left in my body.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't go away. And I spent most of my 30s in and out of therapy, different modalities. I do body, like somatic work,
What do you
breath
feel
work.
has helped you the most out of all the different therapy and stuff?
I
Is there
think-
one that helped you more than the other, or?
I think, honestly, later in my years, being able to afford a coach.
Okay.
I did a lot of therapists, but
Okay.
talk therapy, it got me through it. I don't think it helped as deeply as hiring a coach and then doing the body work at the same time. When I say body work, I do acupuncture, I'll do some sort of physio, or to help it, as my friend calls it, the issues are in our tissues. So you need to get it out of literally our body.
Yeah.
And you need help doing that. It's not something we all know. There's practitioners. So acupuncture.
There's experts in this to
Oh,
really
yeah.
just help you.
Yeah. Acupuncture has been a great resource for me because I find it helps my body and my nervous system to rest and relax. It's not easy when you're a high functioning, you went in corporate and just my personality and where my stars are aligned. I'm a
Yeah.
go-getter. If I say it and I put my mind to it, it's happening. It's done.
Yeah.
But I will like burn myself out. I will do whatever it takes to get to that because I said.
Yeah.
I've learned from that and being like, hey, embrace the pivot.
Yeah.
Change your mind. You don't have to
And
suffer.
be okay with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have to choose suffering anymore,
Yeah.
right?
But sometimes when we grow up and that's all we know is suffering,
we
right?
repeat it.
So, but exactly like what you said, like the body remembers.
Yeah.
So your body goes back to these habits of how it was taught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm almost 46, and I think my 40s have been the best so far.
Oh, girl, wait till you
Because
get 50s. It gets better.
I watching you, and I'm just like, yes,
It's better.
and I truly believe that it has gotten better, because one, I'm coming home. I know who I am, and I'm coming back home, and I'm becoming who I always was, who I was born to be. I'm becoming that version of me now,
Yeah.
and that woman is powerful, and also recognize it doesn't have to take years
No.
to do and be the person I am.
You can just decide and be.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the podcast. It was like, whoa, I'm doing a podcast. Okay, I'm taking my cell phones. I'm just going to start recording.
Yeah.
I burnt a couple cell phones and I got some cameras
Yeah.
and it just evolved. And when you do that, the universe is like, I'm going to send you support.
Yeah.
Here you go. There's the safety net. And all of you guys have been here. Like, the women of our community have held me, and because it is a journey.
Yeah.
I think doing the podcast, I did kind of underestimate, because I recorded so many episodes, and it's like women's health, we talk about trauma and healing, and I took a moment to be like, whoa, it's bringing up some stuff
In you.
in
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Like, these women are mirrors.
Yeah.
These women are mirrors to be like, oh, you know that part that you thought was healed and you kind of put away and filed away? Well, that was just one layer. There's another 100 layers underneath that that go deeper into my mother's wounds, my grandmother's, my great-grandmother's. I carry those in me.
Yeah.
So as, we have learned, like, we carry our ancestors. We have the genetics, so whatever hasn't been healed, we're the chosen ones to do that work.
Yeah.
Our generation, I think, is really powerful, because the baby boomers, they tried to give us opportunities and say, go to school, do our parents. They just tried their best, but they didn't have access to what we have access to now.
Yeah.
So there really is no...
Like the internet alone, just that alone, and the amount of help you can get and everything out there.
There is no excuse anymore.
Yeah.
You are your own enemy if you're using any excuses and you're choosing to be a victim. And I say that with like humility, because there's a process to go through things. You do have to feel it to heal it. You have to sit in your grief. You have to feel your grief and your sadness and all of that.
I'm getting all these little nuggets. You have to feel it to heal it. What is it? The issue is in the tissue.
Tissues, yeah.
All these little.
They are the ones that remind me, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm starting to feel like my body needs some love.
Yeah.
I better book that appointment, because it's giving me feedback.
It's tapping into yourself.
Our first line of feedback through to our higher self is our body.
Yeah.
So our body is... Lately, I was recovering from a massive sinus stuff, and I was literally shedding. My brain was draining, because I was stuck in my mind for like a month or so, and I take it all back to, nothing's like singular, it's all connected.
Yeah.
So my body was like, you're not taking me seriously. I'm gonna wake you up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wake you up, girl. Like, let's go. You want to do this, and you're not slowing down, and you're not supposed to go in that direction. I'm gonna have to slow you down to make you think and go inward
Yeah. Yeah.
and sit with your discomfort.
Yeah. Going through all of this, how did you reconnect back with your culture?
In my late 30s, I had my daughter at 37.
Yeah.
Having children kind of brings out you wanting to connect with yourself deeper, because I knew one day she's gonna want to know things. And I had lost so far away from my culture that I started to kind of lean into Indian practitioners that Ayurvedic it's like a lifestyle, an art and a science, and it's a way of living, really, for Indians. We don't call it anything. We do
We
it.
just do,
It's part
yeah.
of our culture.
What is it? Like, tell me a little bit about it.
So Ayurvedic is like, it's the way, they call it an art and a science. So, but it's a lifestyle. It's the way you eat, it's what you watch, what everything in life,
Yeah.
right? And we believe that there's three doshas. It's like our constitution. So it's like makeup of vata, pitta, and kapha. It's like tells you what you need and what you're lacking, and it helps you live seasonally,
Okay.
right? It kind of gets you in tune with you, who you are, and we're all unique. And Ayurveda is not about elimination completely or restrictions. It's about intuitive living. It's
Love.
really
Okay.
about intuitive living,
Okay.
and a lot of it is based on vegetarian, but it's not forced. It's some body types need protein and animal fat.
Yeah.
And so it's really, I started becoming curious with that. I met a friend, and her sister they embody this. So I took some workshops with one of her sister's workshops, and I was like, I love this. It feels home. I have memories that are dropping in, and I'm coming back to me of being a child in the village, and my grandma made her own butter, made her own ghee. They made their own yogurt every day, fresh, like milked the cows and cooked on the stove on the ground, and everything was made fresh. And every day, every meal. And there was this richness that it kind of reminded me, and being like, wow, I come from this culture.
Yeah. Did you
It's-
feel like your soul missed it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I craved it.
Yeah.
I craved the food. My body felt like just the rituals, right?
Yeah.
Like I use coconut oil on everything. I buy the big organic one, and I
Yeah.
put mason jars in my daughter's room and my room and everything. Like, I put that shit on everything.
Yeah, yeah.
and I mean, you also, depending on your body type, you can also use ghee
Yeah.
for your body,
Yeah.
right? And so I started with little things like that.
Okay.
Like tongue scraping. Our tongue is really, really important part of our digestive tract. It holds a lot.
Yeah.
And so just copper tongue scraping, just little rituals like this, and oil pulling. I would take either, you can do sesame oil, like cold pressed organic,
Okay.
not toasted, or coconut oil, depending once you get, curious
Okay.
into learning about your personal self.
Yeah.
I would just use coconut oil, and you put a tablespoon in your mouth first thing in the morning. You squish it. The longer the better. 5 to 10 minutes if you can. It feels like
And what does that do?
pulls out all the toxins overnight.
Oh, okay.
We have bad breath. We have all
Yeah.
this stuff. So to start to pull out all the toxin, it helps whiten your teeth, pulls everything. Our tongue holds a lot,
Okay.
and so you spit it out in the garbage, never in the toilet or the sink,
Yeah.
because it's oil.
It'll clog,
Yeah,
yeah.
and so those are little things. Even my daughter, I get her to do those. She has a tongue scraper, and I make my own ghee on full moons.
I love that. I remember you told me about that. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh. So tell me about the ritual around making ghee on the full moon.
That's one of the ones that really makes me connected to my ancestors, because
Yeah.
I remember my grandmother, my great grandmother. I was blessed enough; they were both in my life when I was in India, and once I started doing it, and this was more in the last 4 years,
Yeah.
I started, and I would buy organic butter, cultured butter, and I just learned from my friend and just some YouTube videos, and I started, and it incorporated into all of our cooking. But what I do is I chant mantras. I put some Indian mantras on. I just like, I am also a Reiki practitioner, so I just hold my hands and put like loving mantras and loving energy, because this is going to nourish my daughter, my husband, anybody that comes into our home.
Yeah.
So I actually pray into that ghee and say, like, God, creator, please put healing energy, put the intention going into this ghee is that it nourishes and heals any ailments, and it brings like joy
Yeah.
to the food and whatever we use it for.
Yeah.
And I play music, and some days if I get a little really wacky, I just dance while I'm doing, because that's the joy of it.
Yeah.
Right? I can make some of those rituals
But
my
it's
own.
a way for you to connect back.
Yeah.
To connect back with your culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then add a little bit of my own
Of your
spice.
own.
Because
Yeah.
I'm an
Yeah.
East meets West. Like, I can't never disown where I came from, but I can't disown the life experience that Canadian and the culture and all
how
the
you were raised.
all the cultures I was raised.
Yeah.
So I finally came to the acceptance that I don't have to be one thing.
Yeah.
I don't have to be, I'm not East, that's where I came from.
Yeah.
But becoming was owning all of that.
Exactly. I think that's a lot of us also. So me myself also, I'm Samoan, Hawaiian, Spanish, Caucasian. I'm not just one thing. I'm a mix of a lot of stuff, and a lot of people who are listening and watching are also a lot of different things. And I think to deny one culture, it's not good, because you're
cutting a limb off.
You're cutting. Yeah, it's still part of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it makes your life more rich.
Totally.
Like, I take from my West Indian, because my stepmom raised me for like almost a decade of my life.
Yeah.
And I love West Indian music, and there's the food differences, and I incorporate that.
Yeah.
And there's prayer rituals I take from the Hindu culture, and I do every morning. I don't associate with one religion.
Yeah.
I call myself more spiritual, and I'm connected to God because God's in me. And taking that, I do believe in instilling some values in our daughter. How do you raise a child in this world, I find, without a system? Like, we were either, you had the Hawaiian culture, or your parents leaned in, and at least the religions that I was raised, it gave me how to be, what was important, the values. So my husband and I decided that we were going to just channel a little bit more of the Buddhism. If we chose one religion that we both really resonated with, we both started studying Buddhism, and we incorporate that into our life. So we pray, and it's not a Buddhist prayer, but we pray before every meal to thank the source for the abundance, and to thank our body, and to also bless the people that have no food. I say, please take the energy from me and bless it out to all those that have no food through me.
Yeah.
Because energy is for everybody.
Yeah.
And we say a Buddhist prayer, Dalai Lama's prayer, first thing in the morning with our daughter, and then we do like 1 to 2 minutes of just a silent meditation of just, like, if we just look at one thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't have all the answers and all the Indian things to pass on to her,
Right.
that
Yeah.
may have disconnected some of them, but you know what? I'm going to pass the ones I have, and then I'm going to add to that.
Yes. Yeah.
Add Reet's spin
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
And she can take and leave as she grows up what works for her. But what's important for my husband and I is that we instill values.
Yeah.
Love, gratitude, kindness, compassion, empathy, and service.
Yeah.
I believe the currency of the universe is service.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are here, and our purpose is to serve in whatever gifts we have and share that.
Yeah. So when did you guys decide to move to Hawaii with her?
Um,
Was your daughter born here? Or?
No,
Okay.
she was born in Canada.
Okay.
And she's 8 now, and 2 years ago in August
wow.
23rd, we just landed in Hawaii. After we had taken we call it a sabbatical year. We sold everything in Canada.
Okay. Take me on that journey. Selling everything and.
So 2020, COVID hits.
Okay.
I have to stop working. I stay home
Where
with my
were you
daughter.
working at?
I was doing sales at a designer eyewear boutique and working for an optometrist.
Okay.
So I have to. There's no daycare. My daughter was 3, I think it was. 3. And so my husband was able to work remote. I stay home, and I'd go on hikes with her. I just channeled. I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
But something was missing going on in our life, in our marriage. It was like that midlife awakening happening between my marriage, and something needed to change. We were like, my husband was starting to burn out after 2 hours of commuting we lived outside of Toronto, so he would
Wow.
commute. And
2 hours one way?
one hour, an hour and a half, sometimes in the morning and back. And he'd get home,
Wow.
and we did all of this work because Mila was born through in vitro.
Yeah.
That was a process through me.
Yeah.
But to do all of that and then not be part of your only child's life.
Right. Yeah. And then to be on the road and just be gone.
It was just happening, and there just seemed like a little disconnect
Mm-hmm.
between our marriage. So COVID hit, he burnt out, he took 3 months off work and went back and worked remotely now because it's
Mm-hmm.
COVID. One day we're sitting on the couch and he's like, it's something we'd been talking for about half a decade, moving out west Canada. We were in central Toronto. He's like, what if we moved to Vancouver? And I look at him and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you better not mess with me,
Yeah.
right? And he's like, no, I'm serious. And I'm like, how serious? He's like, this was March. He's like, I definitely want to be there by fall. I was like, okay. I called the realtor the next day. Our house got it set up. We sold the house within weeks. It was a hot market. We drove across the country, sold most of our stuff. We bought our house online virtually. It was a new townhouse, so we're like, can't go wrong, really.
Yeah.
And we drove in, moved in, and we essentially lived in just outside of Vancouver, and just shy of 2 years, we did it again. I said to my husband, I'm like, what if we go on this journey? I feel this is a transition move. What if we take a year and go around the world? But you have to quit your job. He's an engineer.
He's like, well, how are we going to go around the world with no money and no
Right.
job?
But luckily, we had banked. When we sold in Toronto, it was a good time. We had been double income, no kids for a decade before we had our daughter. So our mortgage was low. We cashed out, and we made almost 6 figures, And then we bought a house that we had another very little mortgage, basically, and paid off. And 3 weeks before the markets crashed, we had sold our house, and we sold at broke records because there was no inventory, and everybody's wanting to be in this neighborhood. And then 3 weeks after all the 8 interest rate hikes within that year,
Wow.
and everything crashed, and
Yeah.
we had already sold. So we cashed out again, and we went off on a year-long journey to 23 countries around the world.
Wow.
And after that, like halfway through that, I connected with my birth mom. When we
Okay.
stopped in India, I'd never been back to India in 38 years.
Wow. Oh
The
my
day I
gosh, it might have
left-
it's probably so emotional for you and for her.
I purposely put India in the middle of my 1-year journey because I knew I needed 6 months to prepare myself to get there.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, then I have like 6 months to kind of like
Come back,
unwind and
yeah.
come back. And
Yeah.
I knew the name of the village, and we had hired a driver in India to drive us and take us and help us.
Wait, did she not know you were coming?
No, she wasn't in India anymore. She was in Canada.
Oh, okay, okay.
And I had lost touch with my mom. The part I missed was like in my 20s, my brother and I, who lived with her, had a falling out.
Okay.
He was becoming verbally, mentally abusive to me, and I said, I don't need this in my life.
Okay.
And I cut him off, and I had to. My mom and my brother lived together, so both of them, I walked away at almost 25 years of age, and I never saw them again until I was 40.
Wow.
But the day I found my mom, I connected with my mom through my family in India. I told the driver, all I know is this is the name of my town. I have no idea, no hair, like nothing. I went, this is trusting your intuitive self. I got him to drive around the town, and I was like, nothing, like, I don't know, but like cool. And I was like, stop the car. I need to put my feet on this land now. And I just stood there and I like looking around, and kid you not, I can't make it up. 2 butterflies literally was like, made me like follow my eyes, and I look, and there's this house across the street. I'm like, that kind of reminds me of like childhood home, the way it was built. And the driver's like, go, you're in like, they're gonna think you're Bollywood, like, right? They're like, they don't see tourists in this village
Yeah,
often.
yeah.
And so I went in, I name dropped my grandfather's name because it's like not a big village.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah. They called my cousin. My grandfather had already been in Canada, but they knew the name. My maiden name is Gil, and it's a big common name. And so they're like, oh, my cousin came over in 5 minutes. And from that, like, moment, everything, like, went boom, boom, boom so fast.
Wow.
It was middle of the night in Canada. They called my mom, finally woke her up and got her. And in, like, moments after, I heard words as they were talking, like, that I found out that my brother had also been murdered like 15 years earlier.
Wow.
So I didn't even know. They had tried to look for me, but they had no idea where I was, and at that same day, like, I get my mom in my life, but I also, like,
realize that your brother is
my
gone.
brother's gone.
Yeah.
And it was big.
Wow.
It's taken me, I think, I know I was meant to come to Hawaii to be held and heal. Because, you know, you can't find all of that out and think it's like, oh, okay, I have my mom back now, everything's good. Yeah, I have my mom back, but she doesn't know me. I had to kind of slowly build the language again, because she doesn't speak English.
Wow.
I have, like, Punjabi is in my brain.
Yeah.
Like, you don't lose it. But I haven't,
But just speaking it.
I speak it as an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
like
Yeah.
broken.
Yeah.
So all of that has been part of coming back home, and my daughter witnessed all of that. And the way I mother my daughter is, like, I've never hidden anything. She's had all these people that never really looked like me. And my daughter looks a lot like my husband. We're in an interracial marriage, and he's white, German heritage, but she took more of his genes, and she's always kind of been like, oh. And I was like, no, you know what, honey? Here, you are equal parts me and Dad, but then you're also your own person.
You know, but that goes back to, like, how we said we're mixed. Like, I'm mixed, she's mixed, you know, but yet, regardless what she looks like on the outside, it's still part of her that she will forever carry on the inside.
Yeah. And that experience in India, she will be with her forever.
Oh, forever. Yeah.
And you know, this is why I trusted my gut. Because I knew I was meant to go on nobody understood why we moved in the middle of COVID to Vancouver. And then people asked, what's your intention? What are you doing? Like, going around the world. I said, trust me, I don't know how to explain it to you, but this has been calling me for years.
Yeah.
And this is the time.
Yeah.
The universe has aligned that the money's not a worry. We are set over here. We built our life so that this moment would come.
Yeah.
And this is the opportunity, and we took it. And we did it scared. We did it being like, we don't have
That's
anything.
what you got to do, though. That's part of it. Like, it's the unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you were to give advice to someone who's listening, like, what advice would you give them to trust their gut? Like, maybe 3 things.
You have the answer. You are the answer. People are going to tell you all kinds of things, but get really quiet and sit with yourself. You will never regret going after your own advice. And your dreams are worth it.
Yeah.
Your dreams are worth the pain, worth people pulling you down, and worth the hard work, worth the sacrifice, but also understand you don't have to suffer to go after your dreams. Really, like, it's one thing I've learned with age is, like, we don't have to suffer. We can choose to, like, surrender and say, okay, it's when I'm resisting and it has to be my way instead of thy way, that, you know, like the universe. It's really simple.
Yeah. It can be very simple.
Yeah.
It can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really, honestly, like we talked about rituals, those are the ones that saved me during the hard times.
Yeah.
Those simple things, connecting back to me and my roots, that's what saved me.
You making your ghee, putting on the music,
Yep.
connecting you back, even if it's just a little bit.
Literally, it started with just tongue scraping because everything else felt so big.
Yeah.
And then
so if someone's like looking to reconnect with their culture, they can start with a little
one thing.
Just one thing. Just one thing to connect you back, even if you have to Google it.
Yeah, Ayurveda was.
Yeah.
It's when you research it, it feels overwhelming, and friends are like, "What?"
Yeah.
And it's not meant to be. It's not like, you know, you can't land in a country and take on the culture. You start or speak the language. You start with learning the basics.
Yeah.
Hello, how are you? Thank you. And
It
that's like
starts
with
with
anything.
one step.
It's like starting a new business.
Yeah.
Just start with the one idea and move one step closer every day.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. This was so good. This interview was so good. I loved it.
Thank you, Mapu. Thank you for holding space and
Yeah. Thank you for
allowing
being
me to
here.
share.
Thank you for sharing all of that with us.
Every time I do, I know it's a part of my healing, but I know it in a bigger scheme.
Yeah.
It's part of some other woman's healing.
Yeah. When she hears this, yeah.
She's sitting there in one of her darkest moments, and she's going to hear that, oh, wow, other women are going through so much or have gotten through that and come out the other side. And the other side means that it's not that I don't struggle. I have to face my new self often.
Yeah.
Because those wounds creep up, but you know what? I have the tools it takes, and I have the community to lean on and saying, I don't have to do this alone, and part of it is asking for help.
Yeah. I love that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mapu.